Top two teams squaring off at the Men's World Curling Championships. Brad Jacobs in Canada taking on Yannick Schwaller in Switzerland. Schwaller has taken all three matchups with Jacobs this season. So after a blank in the first, we move to the second end. Canada sitting a stolen point. Switzerland fourth, Benoit Schwartz, looking at a tough in-off to salvage a single point. Schwartz, he gets the right action on that one. They would measure, but Switzerland avoid giving up an early steal. They're up 1-0. Canada with hammer in the third end. Schwartz with his last. He wants to hit and roll undercover, but he's got just a little bit too much weight. He rolls out of the house entirely. That would leave Canada with an open draw for two, and Brad Jacobs is going to convert with the hammer to take a 2-1 advantage. Ensuing end, Jacobs with his last without hammer, trying to plant one right next to the Swiss shot rock. And Jacobs, he settles at the edge of the four to sit a stolen point. So Schwartz, trying to remove the Canadian shot rock, ideally drive it out of the house to score a couple, but the Canadian rock jams, so Switzerland, they're forced once again, and it's 2-2. Fifth end now. Schwartz, with his last, looking to hit his own red at the top of the forefoot, drive out the Canadian shot rock, and Schwartz, he gets the job done, but in the process, he's left a double for Jacobs to potentially score multiple in the end, and the two-time Brier champion, he drives out both reds, hangs around to put up a three-spot. Canada, they take a 5-2 lead. In the sixth now, Switzerland with hammer. Schwartz with his first, and right out of his hand, he knows something is off. The rock picked on something on the ice right as it leaves his hands. A disastrous outcome for Switzerland. He flashes right through the house. Schwartz's reaction says it all. Tough break for Switzerland. So Jacobs, looking to take advantage with his last, looks for a hit and roll, kills the shot rock, rolls to top four. So with his last, Schwartz trying to avoid falling down four. He needs a chunk of the button with the draw, but he comes up just light. Just the fourth time that Switzerland has given up a steal in the tournament. Only team that have given up fewer is Canada. To the seventh we go. Canada sitting two without hammer, as Schwartz is about to throw his first, and Schwartz, he makes those Canadian yellows disappear with a great double to sit two. To Jacobs last in the end. He's trying to get rid of the shot rock and roll undercover to force Switzerland again. He removes shot rock, but is only partially buried. So Schwartz with a shot for a couple in the end, and Switzerland crack a deuce. The first time in 5 games that Canada has given up two in an end, it is 6-4. Eighth end time, Canada sitting three with hammer. Schwartz with his last, looking to do whatever he can to minimize the damage, and he will draw to the back of the forefoot. And after a quick look from Mark Kennedy, yes, it's determined that Switzerland does have shot stone, but Jacobs with a chance to put up a big end.
Firm, clean, yep, whoa.
Final
clean,
stone.
Clean, yep, yep.
To the nose.
Hard, you gotta go hard.
Yellow
Clean,
onto
clean,
yellow onto
clean,
red.
yep, yep.
Have you got this? Sure enough, and settle down. And that will be for 4.
Canada take it 10-4. They're now 9-1.
Brad, 0-3 against the Swiss team until tonight. What was the difference?
We finally played the way that we can against those guys. Yeah, the first few times we've met them this season definitely wasn't our best, but I think we just put together our best game of the week, and I heard Ben beside me just now say it's probably one of our best games of the year, and he's right.
For the team, you just look like you're having so much fun and loose, and I know that that is one of your team mantras, but it's easy to say, how are you making that happen?
Oh, we just keep reminding each other all the time. We're having great team meetings. We're really trying to take this all in, enjoy every moment. You know, we had almost a full building in there tonight, and that really helps energize us. And for whatever reason, I think the crowd is keeping us a little bit loose. So, yeah, like I said, one of our best games of the week. We didn't start with hammer, but we were able to wrestle that hammer back or away from them and get a big 3 and just manage the board from there.
we could feel the frustration from Switzerland early. How did that impact your strategy?
Yeah, I could feel it too early, and yeah, they were struggling to make some shots, and you could tell that they were getting frustrated with us making so many. So when you see that happen and your opponent is frustrated, I think the best thing to do is to just stay on them, not let up, and keep plugging away. And we did a good job of that.
You're playing two teams tomorrow, Austria and the United States, that do not have winning records. How does that impact you going into tomorrow?
Yeah, I know that Austria's not having the greatest week. USA is going to play us tough. That's going to be a really big game tomorrow night, and they're fighting for their lives. So it doesn't change anything for us, though. We want to keep this train rolling. We want to keep making shots and putting lots of shots together and get some points on the board and just continue to stack up W's. That's what we're here to do.
Thanks, Brad.
Awesome. Thanks, Kathy.